high again.
Hi.
And I'm not having a beer, I'm having a soda, Coca-Cola. Welcome to Zero Status. I post these from time to time. Welcome to the channel. So it's been a while since I've been on here. First things first, go Birds.
Go Birds, though.
Oh, go Birds.
All right, fine. Go Birds, right?
I know go Birds.
Get your hand off my knee.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds.
Not trying to brag, but there was no three-peat. You're welcome. Anyway, outside of that, hope you guys are doing good. I kind of have been, super busy with life. It's been a crazy year. I need to really make more of these videos. I say that every time I make one of these videos, and then I don't make another video. Anyway, I sold all my Volkswagens and sold my Harleys. I have 2 Lexuses now, which I'm not upset about. Anyway, this is my GX470 2006 model. I sold my Harley and as my new daily driver, paid cash for it from a friend who'd had it for about 4 years, and it kind of fell in my lap. It worked out perfect. I didn't think I could afford one of these. They kind of are in a weird place in the market. They're either really expensive or something's wrong with them, so they're cheap typically. I sold the Harley for X amount of dollars. My buddy said, hey, why don't you just buy my GX? And I laughed. I said, all I have is this much money. He said, I'll sell it to you for that much. I think I had the money from the Harley for about 30 minutes. I drove up to where he lives real quick, and then wasn't gonna bring the money because I was like, I'll look at it, make a good decision. And within 5 minutes looking at it, I was like, this thing's rad, I want it, I'm taking it home with me. And here, take my money.
Okay, it's $500, you have no choice of carrier, the battery can't hold a charge, and the reception isn't very—
Shut up and take my money.
It's super rad. Anyway, it's here, it's awesome. I got my Zero Status sticker on there. So yeah, I have no Volkswagens anymore. I don't know if that means I've got to get rid of my tattoo or I've got to get a Lexus tattoo. I don't know what that means anymore. But I went from having quite a lot of outgoing money on 2 car payments and sold both of those. No car payment. I just sold my wife's Atlas. I didn't trade it in. I sold it to Carvana, which was like $4,500 more than I got trade-in value. So that was awesome, which allowed us to get her a Lexus RX 350, which is what I wanted to get her. And our car payment cut in half. I think we saved like $1,300 a month. Insurance and car payments, gone. And I got 1 car paid for and another car with a half the price payment and a warranty for 75,000 miles. That's a win-win. I probably should change the name of the channel to what the fuck are we doing now? Apparently this. Welcome to my ADHD channel where I normally have no idea what I'm doing. I think that's why Daniel watches these. What is he doing? What's happening? Nobody knows. I got the GX. It had a kind of DIY roof rack, which was super cool. It was made out of Unistrut and had an awning on it, so that was already cool out of the box. I then got a roof basket from a friend of mine, threw up there, tossed a spare tire on the roof. It does have the 3rd row, and then I started realizing I can't get in the garage with all that stuff on top. So I got this Prinsu roof rack. I got hooked up. Long story short, I got the hookup. I'm glad that I have so many friends in the automobile industry. I love it. I put it on the roof. I was really worried it wasn't going to fit in the garage. I have this much clearance. This is almost how much patience I have with my children sometimes. Actually, maybe less than that. Anyway, it does have an Eibach lift on it. I think it's it's like a 2.8 inch lift. Not quite a 3 inch if Steven informed me correctly. It does have off-road control arms. I'm still learning some of this stuff. I'm not an off-roading guy, so I've had some really good advice from them so far. I do have to do the pinch weld modification when I get new tires, so I have the clearance. I'm currently running a 285 70/17, which is almost a 33-inch tire. You can run 35s on these, but it requires a ton of cutting and banging and hammering of the firewall to make work. And then it's leather. It's in pretty good condition. I added a JW Off-Road dash kit, which I'll post a picture here. And I've got a ton of crap on it, which I love. I've got my quad lock phone holder, which charges my phones, and it locks in place, so I'm not worried about it falling off. I did get a Amazon Apple CarPlay screen, which was a must-have, and I have my GoPro mounted on the same mount. The downside with the 2006 nav model, which anybody knows that knows these things, it's about $800 to add CarPlay to the factory screen and make it look right. I don't have $800 laying around. That would be rad. I would love to have just done that plug and play module, because it has a CD changer, it has a tape deck, and it has AM/FM radio. It does not have an auxiliary. So the CarPlay screen, which I had a $100 Amazon gift card, so it only cost me $29, is being fed through an AM/FM module built into the CarPlay screen, so that's how I listen to all my music. It does stink when I'm sitting in a car, like if I'm sitting in a parking lot waiting for one of the boys watching a video. There is a delay in the audio. That sucks. Hopefully I'll fix that somehow down the road. I think it's called the Grom V12 upgrade. Then I can just use a factory screen and it flips over to CarPlay. Rear windows are factory tinted. There's no tint on the front. And there is a mid-muffler delete. It does have the resonator in the back, so it sounds like a really nice V8. This is allegedly the million-mile 4.7 V8 from Lexus, which is supposed to be the best of the best. I do have record of both timing belt services, which are to be done at about 90,000 miles. It has 224, almost 225,000 miles on it currently. So not really bad for these things, but I keep seeing them for 300,000+ miles. I did get some new tires. You can't see them down there, right here. Thanks to my buddy Bryson for sending me a link for these actual tires. You never know what I'm going to do. How long I'll keep this, 11 days, 11 years. I have no idea. I did want to spend $1,500 on tires. I have no idea how to say the name. Arroyo. Arroyo. I don't even know where they're made or who makes them. China.
China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China. China.
I don't know. But they're great. They actually look really nice. They look like the Toyo RTs that I wanted. And it currently has KO2s on it, which are pretty good, but they're just old. I need to replace them for safety reasons. They're from 2011. I should not be driving this car on those tires. I did add a I think it's Dr. KDSS track bar correction kit on the back of it, which basically makes the track bar sits level with the ground, basically when it's on level ground, instead of it sitting at an angle. So it corrects that, which basically corrects the geometry of the rear tires a little bit, so they should track better. I did notice a pretty big difference driving around corners and going over speed bumps and stuff like that in parking lots. I noticed a difference right away. It drives a lot better on the highway than it did before. It's pretty cool. I've wrapped a few pieces in the dash. I got the 2 silver Prada AC vent trim pieces. It's awesome. The very first weekend that I had it, there was a work trip in Helen, Georgia, and any of you off-road people know the area. There's a place called Tray Mountain Road just outside downtown Helen, which is a pretty cool logging fire road, I guess. But halfway up is a place called the Bison Lodge, which is where we've done this event 2 years in a row. And it snowed. We got snowed in. I didn't get snowed in. I had this monster, and it drove up and down Trey Mountain Road like a champ. It did not slide. It did not skid. My boss's Jeep Wrangler, kind of the same thing. We drove up and down the mountain all weekend. We had a lot of fun. Someone did not have fun in their 4Runner. They, at the bottom of the road, tried to drive across the highway or the main road at the bottom there and slid across down into the creek. Another truck got stuck halfway up the hill trying to make a turn, and the rear tires of his dually slid over. But she drove great. I've got some LED front fog lights that are a yellow. I would love to get a different front bumper for this thing. My next thing are some rock sliders for the side of it. I do want to get, there's a Carvin, I think is the name of the company, makes an exhaust system that basically dumps out right under here. So there's a muffler and then a dump right here. So nothing goes up over the rear axle, which I kind of like. And it also sounds really mean. Should sound a little bit better. I'll get rid of that sleep muffler resonator in the back and get a little bit more clearance when I do take this thing off-road or trailing. I'm not going to be super aggressive with it. It is my daily driver. So I would like to drive it to an event or a weekend trip or something like that. Drive off-road, maybe camp out, and then drive home. I would not like to get to an event, damage my truck, and then not know how to get home. That would not be a good weekend. Trying to plan some stuff with some buddies of mine. I've been talking about a trip that I've done a couple times called the Dirty Brews Cruise. Probably just going to shorten it to the Brews Cruise, which is basically us, a group of friends, going to the mountains, finding places to drive, hang out, and have some beers in the evening. Not drinking and driving. Definitely not that. This is a event where we do a bunch of fun stuff during the day, and then when we're done for the night, we go downtown Bryson City and have some beers, hopefully at the Bryson City Outdoor, or Bryson City Outdoors, sorry. And I've got some friends that run that place and know the owners, and they're always great when we come up there. They have a food truck. We're planning on this event possibly second to last weekend in July. Not the last weekend, whatever the weekend before, so maybe the third weekend in July is the weekend we're looking at. I hope it works out. But it's for people with cars, people with trucks. I don't care what you drive. Come to the event. The plan is that my buddy Zeke would come in his shop, and he would probably plan a drive in the mountains for guys that like some twisties. And I would love to have my buddy Bryson come, and we could do a little bit of trail riding. Nothing really crazy. There's a lot of trails in the area. Obviously, my buddy Ryan has talked about coming. But this is it. So my wife keeps joking that I should keep pushing the channel and keep moving. Nice that she believes in me. And we've joked about changing the name of the channel again to ADHD Radio, or what the fuck is he going to do next? Or how the hell did I get here? Most of them have curse words in them, so we probably should fix that. So there is that. Anyway, Daniel, I hope this was, I'm sorry. I'll make more videos for you, Daniel. He was mad I haven't done it in a while, so I made a new one. There's a big storm coming in tonight, so I made room for both vehicles to fit in the garage. My wife's out shopping right now, so I'm trying to do this video before she runs me over at her parking spot. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good, and hope everyone's living their best life. Welcome to the new thing that I'm doing now.
Squirrel!
I also would love a hardtop rooftop tent. You'll never use it. You're going to use it once and you're never going to use it again. They're expensive. I make bad decisions every day. What's to stop me from making another one?
All right, Carter, you got $25.87.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions.
I mean, I bought this thing. Yes, I want a hardtop rooftop tent. Hopefully I can find one that someone already bought and took a huge hit on, and I can buy it for pennies on the dollar, because I'm cheap. I'm chintzy, as old people would say. I want a spare tire carrier, but the one I want is basically goes into your tow hitch, swings out. The other ones bolt to the back hatch, and got drill holes in the truck and stuff like that. I'd love to do a snorkel. I want to do all kinds of things to it, man. I don't have money for that. People, I have to get a real job or something. Or start people sponsoring my videos. No one's sponsoring this one. This is a random t-shirt I bought for $8 at a store. Just so happens that it says Miller Lite while I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. Trying to think if I'm forgetting anything else. Anyway, the list is long for the stuff that I'd like to do to this. I would like it to be a little bit bigger so I can't get it in and out of the garage. I can't even speak, which is, I guess, stupid. It had no sense to it. I have 2 awnings laying down here. I had to wait for new bolts to come in so that I could attach them because the old system that I had up there was a different type of bolt, and I need carriage bolts. And I could have got them from Home Depot, but I bought them from Prinsu because they were half the price of going to Home Depot. But they're coming snail mail, so I think they'll be here in October. All right. Well, hope you guys are doing well. Until the next time, until the next beer, whatever I do next. Cheers. I don't know why I always walk out of frame. I live here. You guys don't. Get out of here.